Hey, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today we're going to be doing a deck profile on the new Neo Nectar sub-archetype Musketeers. If you haven't checked out our 20 plus pack opening video yet, do that. It was pretty disgusting, but spoiler alert, if you have checked out the video, you will know that we hit 3 Cecilias, 3 Ouroboros Dragons, and 1 SP Cecilia. That's 7 triple rares and above in 21 packs, so that's 1 in 3. 1 triple rare or above in each pack, and that's pretty insane. I did not expect to be doing this video so early on, but I guess since, luck favored us today, let's try to sack some people on ladder. So I guess let's begin with talking just a little bit about the deck. Not much to explain. There aren't a lot of options you can play with in Musketeers anyways, but overall what I can say is that my deck tries to play most of the Musketeers as much as possible. There are some better alternatives in terms of the card text itself, but we do want to maximize the number of Musketeers so that you don't whiff the skills. So let's start with the starter, Broccolini Musketeer Kira. So Kira is, a grade 3 searcher, and if you have seen the starting Vanguard tier list, I don't rank these really highly because, first of all, yes, it increases your consistency, but the chances of getting a grade 3 is the same as a grade 2 and grade 1 in this game. In addition, a grade 3 is assigned trigger, and so getting that extra grade 3 into your hand means that you're, removing a trigger from your deck, and we know how impactful triggers can be. Moreover, you don't get the option of just, shuffling if it isn't the one you want. But unfortunately for this deck, it is the only starter with the Musketeer name, and we know how much synergy, the Musketeer name has with each other, as well as, with Cecilia being our only ride target and with no other backup options really in this deck. If you don't get Cecilia, you basically lose the game, and we don't really like that. So Broccolini does 3 things. It lets you get your Cecilia. It's more consistent getting your Cecilia. It is a 4K booster, I guess, and you can sack it to get another better Musketeer rearguard with your, Musketeer filter skills. What are these skills, you may ask? So, Lily of Valley Musketeer Rebecca. When placed counterblast 1, retire one of your other Musketeer rearguards to check top 4, and then call 1 Musketeer. So what that means is if you do have your Cecilia in your hand, you can sack this Kira to get another Musketeer, like a Gusto, the 9+3, or you could even get Lily of Valley Musketeer Kayvon. Kayvon also does the same thing as, Rebecca. You counterblast 1, retire 1 to filter for a better Musketeer. And overall, you use these skills to filter out your deck for all of your, units that you don't want. And then you can use Cecilia's skill, counterblast 1, return 5 of your grade 2 or lower Musketeers from your drop zone to your deck to call 2 White Lily Musketeer Cecilia. So these are additional tokens. They are not from the deck, which is great. Let me flex the SP one. And then with these Cecilias, while a lot of players might think they're dead cards, why do I want grade 3s? Cecilia has a once per turn skill of retiring 1 Musketeer rearguard, check top 5 from the top of your deck, and then call a Musketeer. So what that means is you can call these Cecilia tokens, retire them, and then search for, an intercept or a booster of your liking. What else do we have? We play 3 7+3s, mainly speaking, it's just going to be used as a booster with the Musketeer name. Generally speaking, you can just retire a lot of these units to get whatever, intercept or cards you need, but it is there if you are lacking in card advantage and you need something to hit your opponent's units. We play 2 of the Tulip Musketeer Mina. Self-damagers help you proc Cecilia's skill earlier on, the Limit Break. And also, just being a Cecilia name, while it is a 6, you can always filter it for a better Musketeer unit of your liking. We play 4 9+3s. We play 1 Tulip Musketeer Almira. Almira is also a self-damager. I see arguments for playing the 7K that lets you check top card and superior call it, or the counterblast to draw 1. But I do believe that consistency is more important and it fits my playstyle more, so I do want to play the Almira instead. It is a one-off anyways. And then I play 4 Knight of Venture Gene. What this card does is that when it hits the Vanguard, you can return it to your deck and summon Knight of Harvest Gene from your deck as rest. Knight of Harvest Gene is actually a grade 3, so you would rarely actually use this skill to hit the opponent's Vanguard. Instead, what you want is to return this grade 3 Knight of Harvest Gene into your deck by hitting your opponent's Vanguard, and then calling 2 Knight of Verdure Genies from your deck as rest. What this does is if you're lacking in grade 2 intercepts, you can hit and then set up 2 intercepts for your next turn. And even if you don't, you can still return it to your deck and shuffle if if you want. And then for the grade 3, you play 4 Cecilias because it's your boss unit. We play 4 Black Lily Musketeer Herman. Herman's a 10 when boosted +3. Not a very great card, but with the Musketeer name, it is definitely can be used to filter out for a grade 2, which is better, or a grade 1 booster if you need it. And we play 1 Whirled Snake Ouroboros. There are other choices as well, but this card lets you discard 1, draw 1, which I think is a better choice than Counterblast 2 standard unit, because you are going to be tight with your Counterblast cost as you filter through the deck in the late game, and discarding some grade 3s that you don't need is definitely not a bad option. So I guess without further ado, let's play a game of this on ladder and see how it goes. So how's everyone doing on ladder? I talked about this in a previous video, but I'm not really playing too much recently. I'm playing enough to get my VP rewards and stuff, but not enough to rank high enough. I already had 2 of the rewards previously. I mean, there was a card that came out with set 1, but if you have been missing out on them, do pick those up. It's not that hard to get to Legend 20. So yeah. So we're gonna play against a Kagero player. Is this a good matchup? Honestly, not really, because you do need to your Musketeers on your board to filter out for better Musketeers. But I guess it does help you set up your Cecilia skill earlier. Right now we have Cecilia here, which is pretty good. We're going second, so I can mulligan more aggressively. We're gonna keep 1 PG because it's SP, and because we're going second, so we're going to draw 2. And then we're going to keep 1 ride target Musketeer. Unfortunately here we don't have a grade 2, but because we get to draw 2 on our first turn, I hope that we don't get grade stuck. And even if we do, we still have 1 extra turn on the grade 2 ride to hopefully get our grade 2. So here our opponent plays Conro, which is definitely an S tier starter. Heat Nail Salamander, not a bad card. So let's see. So we did get our grade 2, so that's good. We're gonna ride the Ruth, and then we're gonna guess we're gonna battle. Let me turn off the. Alright, got nothing. So this is the 8+3. Not the best option, but it does help you hit 11k Vanguard numbers, which are pretty prevalent nowadays. So viable, not too terrible. 7+3 if your opponent's rearguard is retired by card skill, this unit gets +3. Pretty rare as well. That's a PG. What did our opponent search for again? PG? Yeah. Our opponent searched it for PG. So let's ride our only grade 2 ride. So generally, if I'm playing this deck and I have Cecilia in my hand, this is my ideal ride target because, it's a Vanguard rearguard skill on place. And you'd rather call it the grade 2. Keep the trigger in the deck. So here, with this, let's play more aggressively. So because we have our Gene in our hand, that can effectively transform into 2 intercepts, I'm more willing to play more aggressively here. If my opponent retires the rearguards and it put me to 4, I have a self 3, I have a self damager that lets me proc Cecilia earlier on, and lets me maintain that card advantage that I need. That's a Tejas. Berserk Dragon. So things are going pretty well for us so far. Our opponent has not hit a damage trigger yet, but what it does mean is that the likelihood of seeing a trigger later into the game is higher, and hopefully it does not hurt us too much. That's Blockade. Alright. If you haven't seen the future Crossrides video, do check that out. Blockade is getting a Crossride, and it's going to be interesting to see how much impact it will bring to the game. You know, probably going to be released in set 11, probably, but we will see how it goes. So we hit another damage trigger, that's great. Alright. Let's ride Cecilia. And then let's see what we can do here. So we have the grade 3 Musketeer with Cecilia's skill. All we can do is retire the grade 3 Musketeer and hopefully get an intercept unit. That we do. So let's battle. So we don't get to hit, huh? I'm still pretty comfortable in this spot because, yes, my intercepts can't block anything. I still have 2 PGs to protect me. But yeah, things aren't looking the best, even though we've been hitting quite a few triggers. Okay. Exile Dragon. I remember when that was relevant. So, in this situation, I'm actually looking for my opponent to retire my rearguard so then I can actually, you know, use Cecilia's skill if I can. But the blockade is quite annoying right now. The Great Genie. Alright. Oh, that's a crit. That's spicy. I wonder... Is that... Oh, there goes our SPPG. So the question is, can we win in this turn? Hopefully we do. But oh, that's another PG. That's great. Right, skip. Let's retire this. Considering putting back the heal into the deck. So I'll do this. How many grade 1s do I have? I only have 3. That's not the best odds. Let's save that. So the good thing about GNA is it's 10k, so at least it can hit some Vanguards. So with this deck filter, I hope I can hit a heal or something that can help me survive the turn. Since our opponent does have a PG, and we do hit that heal, it could have been the one that we put back in the deck just now. So that, you know, that's a pretty good luck and good play. They go hand in hand. So Alright, so it's our opponent's turn. Our opponent does play crits, which is pretty threatening, but since our opponent only has 3 attacks, they can't multi-attack in Kagero without the end attacking our face. We have 2 PGs and 2 damage away from death, so I think we will make it through this turn. So I think the good thing about Neo Nectars is the filter abilities, so we can hit your triggers more consistently, and also the fact that it does have a grade 3 that returns to deck, the Gene. Definitely really important in the Zero game. You can see the difference between clans that can return triggers to the deck and clans that don't. Clans like, you know, Royal Paladins, clans like Spike Brothers, Neo Nectars, they just have an inherent advantage because the chances of them hitting trigger is just higher, right? So here we just damage checked our SP Cecilia, giving us the extra bonus to save a PG for the next turn if we need to. So here we have 3 attacks to my opponent. My opponent at most has 1 PG in their hand, but 3 heals left. So hopefully we can build a column that's 20k, so we can still counteract the plus 10 if our opponent hits the heal trigger. So let's call it the Cecilia. Let's retire the Cecilia. Take top 5 for a booster. Call it out. Nope, we don't want this. And the black Lily Musketeer Hermon comes into play as a 20k column. Let's proc the PG. And then let's help our opponent hit their heal trigger because that's bound to happen. Oh, I guess we're the one that hits our heal trigger. Let's go, Cecilia. Heal trigger, called it, and then because we built a column to counteract that, we win the game. That's it. Pew, pew, pew. There we go. So that's the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you did, like the video if you did. If you have any suggestions for this deck, I just started playing Neo Nectars. I'm not very familiar with it, so do comment down below what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And yeah, I guess from this video we can see, remember to hit your numbers, count your opponent's PGs, assume the worst case scenario, and then I guess, you know, just if you can, if you have the luxury to, counteract your opponent's heal triggers, and you know, always assume the worst but play the best. Alright, so I guess that is it. I hope you enjoyed this this heal fiasco. Finally got to clan level 2 with Neo Nectars. Hopefully I'll get a bit further, so I do get the Cecilia sleeves. We do get Cecilia sleeves, right? Yep. Those are really nice. I do hope to get them someday. But yeah, I guess that's it for today's video. Hope everyone the best of luck on their pack openings and the ladders if you're still playing that. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.